Smile and learn.
5 things you should know about the Paleolithic. The Paleolithic is the first period of prehistory. It's also the longest period of time in history. It begins with the appearance of human beings around 300,000 years ago in Africa. Paleolithic means old stone, and this explains the appearance of the first stone tools. During Paleolithic times, humans lived in tribes, small settlements of 20 or 30 people, dwelling huts or natural caves. They were nomads, meaning they didn't settle in the same place. They traveled from one area to another looking for a location to fish, hunt, or collect food. In other words, they were hunters and collectors. Among their favorite foods were wild berries, deer, bisons, or even mammoths. During Paleolithic times, people held rituals to worship nature and ask for food abundance. That's right, they prayed to the sun and the rain. Another interesting aspect of their culture is that they buried their dead performing funeral rituals. Wow, it sounds like the earliest evidence of spiritual beliefs. Fire was discovered in Paleolithic times. No, that's not what I meant. It seems that the lightning from a thunderstorm accidentally started the first fire. Later on, men learned to make fire in 2 different ways, rubbing a stick against a tree trunk or 2 stones together. Fire was very important because it kept the people in the tribe warm during the night or in the wintertime. Also, thanks to the discovery of fire, they could now cook their food and enjoy eating tastier things. Art in Paleolithic times began 35,000 years ago. I'm sure you'll probably be wondering, was there such thing as a primitive museum? Not really. The first cave paintings were made on the walls and ceilings of the caves they lived in. Cave art was meant to decorate. They liked living in beautiful homes. Their paintings represented hunting scenes, like the one you can see in this picture. Isn't it incredible that their art still remains to this day? To make the paints, they used soil, blood, and plants. They painted using their fingers or paintbrushes. The first stone tools were made during the Paleolithic times. These tools were key to surviving because they made hunting and fishing easier and more effective. This was great because they could get more food. To make these tools, they shaped stones using another stone. Some of the first primitive tools were knives or arrowheads. As they were progressing, they started using materials like bones or wood to make needles or even harpoons. These first men continued progressing, becoming more and more intelligent and improving their lifestyle. The practice of agriculture and cattle raising marked the end of the Paleolithic times and the beginning of Neolithic times. These are the 5 things you should know about the Paleolithic times. Did you like learning about them? 5 things you should know about Neolithic times. Prehistory is divided into 2 major stages, the Stone Age and the Age of Metals. The Neolithic period is the last stage of the Stone Age. Neolithic times began with the practice of agriculture and cattle raising. The word Neolithic means new stone, and this explains why the stone tools that appeared during this period were much more elaborate than Paleolithic tools. The beginning of Neolithic times is marked by the practice of agriculture and cattle raising. During this stage, humans started to domesticate animals like goats, sheep, and cows. These first farm animals were kept for their meat, milk, and skin. During Neolithic times, people started to cultivate the land to grow food, planting cereal like wheat or barley. For this reason, they stopped being nomads and their lifestyle became sedentary. They didn't have to travel to look for food. They had everything they needed in their villages. Neolithic times are marked by the first settlements found near fertile land, where there was plenty of water. They needed water for their animals and crops. Cattle raising and cultivating the land improved their diet. That's why populations started to grow. Small villages were growing bigger and bigger, and this brought in new ways of social organization. Tribal chiefs were responsible for the safety of the village and the well-being of the people. The first man-made stone tools appeared in Paleolithic times, becoming more elaborate during Neolithic times. The main difference was that these tools were no longer made by striking two stones together. They were made by friction polishing, meaning they were sharper and more durable. It was now easier to hunt and cultivate the land more effectively. Neolithic people invented the plow and the sickle, which they used for plowing and harvesting their crops. One of the most important tools was the hand mill. It was used during the Neolithic times to grind grains. During this stage, a very important tool was invented, the wheel. That made agricultural tasks much easier. This invention is equally important in modern times as well, as it is impossible to imagine life without it. Don't you think so? Other significant inventions took place as well, like the loom, which Neolithic people used for weaving clothes and tapestry. Thanks to this invention, they also managed to make the first sails, which helped them to navigate the seas using the force of the wind. Neolithic people are also known for discovering pottery and making ceramics. The first megalithic structures appeared as well. They are thought to have been used as burial and worship sites. Villages were growing bigger and bigger, and people started using metal tools in their everyday tasks. The use of metal tools marks the end of the Neolithic period and the beginning of the Age of Metals, a new stage in prehistory. These are the 5 things you should know about this time period. Did you like learning about them?
We've learned so much in just one video. Did you know there are many more videos? Imagine how much you could learn. Subscribe to the Smile and Learn educational channel to learn and have fun at the same time.